Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what is happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation to change the S&T landscape of the country and impact your life. I am Aishwarya Kapoor with you. From the global recognition of an Indian invention to the strategies proposed by the Indian scientists to prevent and control pollen allergy, we have plenty in store for you. But first, let's begin with the headlines. CSIR NPL gets a US patent for its printable bioluminescent pigment for security ink formulation. This unique invention can be used on many surfaces for anti-counterfeiting applications. India's first polycentric prosthetic knee launched, aptly named Kadam. This indigenously path-breaking innovation will greatly ease the life of above-knee amputees. Multi-sectoral strategies devised for preventing and controlling pollen-related allergies. This study, funded by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, can play a major role in minimizing pollen allergy impact. And researchers from IIT Mandi develop methods of soil stabilization using soil bacteria. The process will help prevent soil erosion without involving any harmful chemicals. And now the news in detail. A few years back, scientists at the New Delhi-based CSIR National Physical Laboratory successfully developed a first-of-its-kind printable bioluminescent pigment for security ink formulation. This landmark indigenous invention, along with the process to develop it, has now been granted a US patent. This development is a big push for Make in India, as the Indian invention has been recognized abroad for its ingenuity. Let us see a report to get more details.
Currency notes, stamp papers, passports, pharmaceutical packaging and even brand emblems all use a special security ink to prevent counterfeiting. As India imports the pigments to formulate such products, the National Physical Laboratory of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research worked towards developing an indigenous solution. After extensive research and many experiments, scientists at the National Physical Laboratory developed a first-of-its-kind bioluminescent pigment for formulating a counterfeit-proof security ink. The pigments, prepared in collaboration with the Academy of Science and Innovative Research, Ghaziabad, look like a white powder but emit two different colors under different wavelengths of light. This invention of CSIR NPL has recently been granted a US patent, which gives global recognition to this indigenous product.
Earlier existing pigment has the single security features, like if you excite with the one wavelength, it is showing the one color. And because of the broad in the spectrum of the emission, it is easy to counterfeit. What we had done here, make the narrow the color, and we also enhance the feature. Like say dual excitation and dual emission color can be possible, and that is in our pigment. And that's why in the worldwide nobody has the bioluminescent kind of the feature. We are the first. We developed the bioluminescent, that is the two excitation source. If you use like 254 and 365, you can tune the color from the red to green. And similarly, I shown here the even the red to blue, and also shown here the green to blue. So many combination we can able to do.
The formulation is based on the combination of fluorescence and phosphorescence. And NPL has successfully completed many experiments with these pigments on currency notes and other surfaces at the laboratory level. When exposed to a certain wavelength of ultraviolet light, the security feature made with the formulated ink looks red, and when the source is switched off, the figure appears green. The same formula has also been used to prepare a golden ink for passports. The prospective use of this product provides a groundbreaking opening for easily printable, highly stable and unclonable bioluminescent security codes for anti-counterfeiting applications. The researchers have also developed different kinds of mediums for using the pigments on different kinds of surfaces, like paper, glass, leather and even metal. This widens the applications of this product.
We use start from the paper, then we use the plastic, then we use for the surface like the glass, quartz, metal. So depends upon the what kind of the medium you are using. because sometimes you are putting the medium with the pigment, it's a very difficult to handle because to quench the fluorescence. So we n number of the medium we have developed here, like varnish based medium, gold and PVC gold based medium, and many more medium we like varnish medium here developed with the pigment. So it's a complement of the pigment, and if you have the suitable pigment as well as the medium, then it could possible to put on the different surfaces. It's a very important because you cannot limit the applications. If you want to different applications, you need the different surfaces.
Thanks to the US patent issued for the invention, the Indian government will directly benefit from this product. Now, America or any other country interested in using this product will need to pay a fee to India. Having the Indian as well as the US patent, the ink can be put to use in India as soon as a decision is taken at the government level. Meanwhile, the researchers are also planning to file patent applications in other countries.
Researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology Madras have launched the first indigenously developed polycentric prosthetic knee called Kadam. This made-in-India product enables people who have lost their legs above the knee to meet the challenges of their daily routine. Here is our exclusive report on this innovative technological solution.
Thousands of people in India lose their legs every year due to accidents and others because of serious diseases. One of the most difficult amputations is considered in those people who lose their legs from above the knee. So far, there has been no efficient solution or alternative for above-knee amputees, which makes day-to-day living difficult for these people. TTK's Center for Rehabilitation Research and Device Development R2D2, working under the Indian Institute of Technology Madras, has been working on finding a viable solution for this problem and has developed several types of equipment for the differently abled people. As part of this research, the center launched India's first polycentric prosthetic knee. This completely indigenous solution, developed in collaboration with the Society for Biomedical Technology and Mobility India, has been given the moniker Kadam. Kadam makes it possible for above-knee amputees to walk with a comfortable gait, and the mobility provided by this technology improves their quality of life. Kadam has been adapted to Indian geographical and climatic conditions. Made from high-strength stainless steel and aluminium alloy with hard chrome-plated EN8 pins and long-lasting polymer bushings, this prosthetic knee is extremely durable. Its ability to rotate in multiple axes gives the user more control over its movement. Kadam also has a maximum knee flexion of 160 degrees to make it easy to sit in cramped spaces like buses and auto rickshaws. Its patented design has been specially adapted to withstand rough terrains while also providing stability while driving, reducing the risk of bumps. This more efficient solution is also several times more cost-effective than existing products. TTK R2D2 Center develops innovative products keeping in mind the social and economic aspects, especially for the differently abled people. The center has also given several innovative solutions like India's first indigenous standing wheelchair. The development of Kadam will especially empower the above-leg amputees from the underprivileged section of our society to face the daily challenges in life. Besides, such technological innovations will also make the country more self-sufficient in this field.
Indian scientists have proposed multi-sectoral strategies for preventing and controlling pollen-related allergies in people. The research study, funded by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has been carried out by the scientists of PGIMER Chandigarh and Punjab University Chandigarh. According to the study, developing regional pollen calendars and following simple precautionary measures are crucial for reducing the impact of pollen allergies. Let's have a look at the report.
In the cycle of seasons, spring is known not only for the transformation of the surroundings, but also for the increased presence of pollens in the air. Pollens are male gametophytes which are released by almost all plants, including trees, grasses, and even weeds, to fertilize other similar plants. Floating in the air, these tiny pollen grains can also enter the human body through nasal pathways and eyes, causing allergic reactions similar to the common cold and flu. Very small pollen grains can enter deeper into the respiratory system through the upper nasal tract, aggravating conditions like asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and causing itchy skin and rashes.
पोलन एलर्जी बेसिकली एक नेग्लेक्टेड डिजीज़ है. व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट नेग्लेक्टेड डिजीज़ मतलब पीपल हैव द एलर्जी एंड दे डोंट नो इट. मीन्स एटोपिक सिम्टम्स होते हैं, जैसे कि आप कह सकते हैं कि फ्लू के साथ मैच करते हैं, जिसमें वाटरी आइज, कफ कोल्ड जैसे सिम्टम्स, एंड पीपल थिंक दैट इट विल बी यू विल रिकवर इन फ्यू डेज, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है. इट इज़ इन द एयर. आपको स्किन पे भी रेसेस आ सकते हैं.
With the support of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, researchers from the Chandigarh-based Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research and Punjab University carried out a study to identify the variability of pollen types in different seasons and proposed a variety of strategies for the prevention and control of pollen-related allergies in humans. These strategies can be used to reduce the intensity of respiratory diseases caused by the pollen grains. The researchers have also developed a pollen calendar for the Chandigarh region.
हमने जो स्टडी की बेसिकली उसमें हमने डिफरेंट टेक्सा और स्पीसीज़ को आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश की कि ताकि हम एक पोलन कैलेंडर बना सकें. तो हमने ये स्टडी 2 साल के डाटा के ऊपर अभी पब्लिश की है, लेकिन हमारे पास अब 4 साल का डाटा हो गया है. तो हमने उसमें देखा कि ओवर 74 यू कैन से टैक्सा एंड स्पीसीज वर आइडेंटिफाइड एंड मैनी ऑफ देम आर एलर्जिक. वी डेवलप्ड ए पोलन कैलेंडर. What happened in Chandigarh, it is probably the first time in India this pollen calendar recently has been developed, where we reported more than 74 taxa basically and their species. So what you are seeing means which species when they release pollen and what is the concentration, and of course we know that it will be 2 seasons mainly, March, April, October, November.
Focusing on lower and middle income countries, the study aimed to understand the major causes of widespread pollen allergy and identify the implementation gaps to suggest key adaptive measures that can minimize the onset and aggravation of pollen-related allergic diseases. After conducting their research, the scientists have suggested large-scale measures at different levels, like developing a pollen forecast system and training of healthcare professionals. They have also suggested some personal measures, including closely following the pollen forecasts, use of face masks, spectacles, and air filters, regularly taking prescribed medications, limiting outdoor exposure, and avoiding gardening or grass cutting during the peak pollen season.
We need to understand the pattern. Means when you go to a park or you have a pet that goes for a walk and then it come back, your symptoms aggravate. If we feel that we have a pollen allergy, whenever you go out, means after evening or for a walk or something, so best thing is that you take a shower and you can minimize your exposure. You can keep your boot and other stuff also separately. The city authority could also think about like having plants which has male and female organ on the same plant, rather than having them on a different plant. So we call it sexism of the plant should be avoided. And one more thing, that we should promote the local flora and fauna, because sometimes we have seen that people are coming with a plant and they are very happy, but suddenly they develop the allergy.
Pollen allergy has become more widespread in the last few decades. The problem affects about 10 to 30% of adults and 20 to 25% of children worldwide every year. Increased urbanization, air pollution, and climate change have only added to the risk of contracting pollen-related allergic diseases. In such a situation, recommendations given by the Indian scientists can help control common allergies and also the onset of severe respiratory diseases at an early stage.
Indian scientists have added another feather in their cap as they make steady progress in science and technology. Researchers from IIT Mandi have recently developed a procedure to increase soil strength, not using chemicals, but using bacteria present in the soil. This will help prevent soil erosion in hilly areas during development activities as well as natural disasters like floods. Here is our report on the study.
Soil erosion is a huge problem, especially in mountainous regions. On one hand, it increases risks like landslides, and on the other, it decreases the fertility of the soil. With climate change increasing the occurrence of extreme weather events, the speed with which soil is eroding has also gone up. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi, have now developed a technology specifically targeting this problem. The IIT Mandi research team is studying a sustainable solution for soil stabilization using soil bacteria. The study of developing a microbe-assisted soil-holding mechanism could prove helpful in preventing soil erosion in mountainous and other regions during natural disasters like floods. This will automatically help in the prevention of landslides. The results of the study have recently been published in the journal Geotechnical and Geoenvironmental Engineering of the American Society of Civil Engineers.
Soil actually is a host of lot of microbes which are present in very small quantities. We have seen that after some ages or after some centuries, these small microbes tries to mitigate the soil or tries to modify the soil over the time in different regimes. However, we understand from the literature that if the bacterial concentration is increased, probably the strength achieved in the soil or the modifications which happen in the soil, which is achieved over time, can be reduced into a short period. So that's where we started looking into the aspect of how the soil can be improved by using bacteria which is non-pathogenic, non-harmful, and thereby if we can improve the soil strength, it can be used for various applications in the ground.
Soil stabilization is the process of permanently strengthening soil holding for a long period using artificial means. Generally, mechanical and chemical processes are adopted for this, but these methods are harmful. Keeping this in mind, for the last few decades, trials have been underway worldwide on an eco-friendly and sustainable technique of soil stabilization called the microbial-induced calcite precipitation. In this method, bacteria are used to produce calcium carbonate or calcite within the soil pores. This cements the individual soil grains together, thereby enhancing the soil strength. Researchers from IIT Mandi used a species of harmless bacteria called S. pasteuri that hydrolyzes urea to form calcite. This method does not use any harsh, hazardous chemicals and will enable the sustainable use of natural resources. Researchers have conducted the experiments on a column of sand and using the Taguchi method found the MICP process to be successful at the trial stage.
In these particular areas of Himachal Pradesh or Himalayas, where we expect higher amount of rainfall, because of the rainfall there is a lot of issues of erosion in this area, and this erosion continues or further proceeds to become landslides. So in this particular study, as we can understand, if we are trying to improve the strength in the soil, then possibly we can control this erosion, and thereby it can also lead to also arresting or mitigating the landslides in this particular area. In flatter areas, especially if we talk about areas which are prone to earthquakes, it is also proven in the literature that these modification in the soil can also reduce the susceptibility of soil to liquefaction, again by using the same bacteria, by using the same concept of strengthening the soil.
This study can help reduce disasters like landslides in India's mountainous regions and prevent other losses due to soil erosion. Researchers are also working on making construction material from mine waste using these microbes.
And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
On 10th of April, Mr. Nikolaus Samuel Guger, a Member of Parliament of Switzerland, met with the Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh. The two leaders discussed possibilities for extensive collaboration in fields like healthcare, telemedicine, and technological advancements. After one-on-one discussion between the two leaders, the two sides met with their representatives. During the course of discussion, the Indian side informed the visiting side about the extensive work being done by the Ministry of Earth Sciences in the field of glaciers, to which Swiss representatives showed keen interest as this subject is equally important to Switzerland. The Swiss representatives also expressed interest in 25 technology hubs created by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, for sustainable development goals. It is expected that a high-level delegation from Switzerland will visit India in October this year, and efforts will be made to take the bilateral ties to a new height on issues concerning both the sides. Scientists have succeeded in finding out the reasons behind the Chamoli disaster. A team of 9 scientists from the Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, Dehradun, an autonomous institute under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, analyzed satellite images of the avalanche zone and found that the region was seismically active before the disaster hit. It should be recalled that the disaster took place on the 7th of February 2021 when the banks of Upper Glacial Lake burst due to an avalanche. The initiation of the ice rock mass avalanche has been recorded as seismic precursors, which were continuously active for 2.5 hours before the main detachment took place. According to scientists, retreating Himalayan glaciers and associated melt along with unstable slopes are subject to trigger landslides by rainfall during monsoon or by induced seismicity in the region. This is why the area requires constant monitoring of seismicity as well as glacier status to develop an early warning system for the region. The study has been published in the journal Scientific Reports. Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) successfully flight tested the helicopter-launched Indigenous anti-tank guided missile, Helena. The tests were conducted from different range and altitude areas as part of the user validation trials on the 11th and 12th of April. The flight test was conducted jointly by the teams of scientists from Defense Research and Development Organization, Indian Army, and Indian Air Force. The trials were conducted from an advanced light helicopter, and the missile was fired successfully, engaging simulated tank target. Helena, the third-generation fire-and-forget class missile, can engage targets both in direct hit mode as well as stop attack mode. It has all-weather day and night capability and can defeat the battle tanks with conventional armor as well as explosive reactive armor. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh congratulated DRDO and the Indian Army for achieving the first milestone through joint work cooperation. Scientists have developed a new convenient diagnostic tool to promote shrimp farming. The device detects an aquaculture pathogen known as white spot syndrome virus (WSSV). Developed by the Agharkar Research Institute, an autonomous institute of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, this peptide-based diagnostic tool has been granted an Indian patent as an alternative biorecognition element. White spot syndrome virus infects shrimps, leading to huge loss in crop. India is a leading supplier of shrimp to countries like the USA, and therefore the device will help increase the export revenue to the country. It will also give a boost to fish and shellfish farming. The research was published in Applied Microbiology and Biotechnology and in the Journal of Molecular Modeling.
That is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. Keep sending your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is indiascience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, A50, Sector 62, Noida, 201309, Uttar Pradesh. So we will take your leave now. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically. Bye for now.